Hello, my name is Chris Keyack, and I am with Keyack Technology Solutions. In this video today, we are going to talk about the TrimBIM file or TRB file that gets included in the Tekla PowerFab export from Tekla Structures, specifically for the new Change Management Colorization feature that was introduced in Tekla PowerFab 2023i. So if you're always up to date with PowerFab and your fabricator that's taking this new functionality of the Change Management Colorization into effect, then basically you're going to want to watch this video and coordinate with your detailers to make sure that they're exporting this TRB file or uploading it to Trimble Connect. Now I'm going to go ahead and start inside of Tekla Structures version 2022. And the reason I'm doing that is because sometimes detailers will be working one or two versions back from the current calendar year. So this is 2023, but I'm, for instance, still working in 2022, and some detailers might even be in 2021. Now, let's go up to the export menu here underneath the Tekla menu. So we'll go to export, and then we'll go to Tekla PowerFab. Now, the Change Management Colorization in Tekla PowerFab is limited to working with a submittal type that is using the Tekla PowerFab export here from Tekla Structures. So again, you will only use this export plugin when you have drawings already created on your project and you're issuing for approval or issuing for fabrication. So here, what we can see is there's this option to embed the model file or to upload the model file to Trimble Connect. And what this will do is this option will create a TRB or a TrimBIM file, which is then used by Tekla PowerFab for the colorization. So this is different than, say, an IFC file or a .tekla file that you've been publishing, as I've shown in the previous videos. So don't confuse this with that. And that's why I'm making this specific video, is that these two options here are actually exporting a separate file type, TRB or TrimBIM file, and it can either embed it in the PFXT package here, the PowerFab Exchange package, or it can upload it to the folder in Trimble Connect automatically. Now, here in 2022, I'm in the latest service pack, and I'm in service pack 11 in early September. And I just want you to see this as a detailer in case you run into this issue like I sort of have. So if I come in here to the document manager, I've got a bunch of drawings here that I want to create a fabrication submittal for. I've selected all those. I've got selected from the drawing list. I've got embed the model file, and I choose export to Tekla PowerFab. Now I've already got this package created from before as an example, but I'm going to rerun it again. You'll see here in the log file that it says writing the model, and it tries to write it out, but it says that there's an error in writing the model file. And I've notified Tekla of this. They're taking a look into what's going on there with version 2022 and before. And basically, I'm just waiting for a service pack release to get that updated. But I wanted you to see that if you see a scenario like that, it's not just you. There is something here like in that particular service pack that might be causing an issue. And I suggest that you just report that out to the Tekla support or help desk. Now, as you can see here, the PFXT file or the package file is still created, and this is going to include the XML file that has the bill of materials and quantities, as well as the drawings, the PDF files and CNC files included into it. Now, the entire package gets created. The only thing here that didn't happen is it didn't embed the model file, or it won't upload to Trimble Connect in this particular case. I also don't know of any way to manually upload the TrimBIM or TRB file from Tekla Structures in these versions. It's only included here in the PowerFab export from the best of my knowledge. Now, let's go ahead and switch over to Tekla Structures 2023 in the latest service pack, and we'll see how this process works, including both the upload and the embed the model file. All right, now I'm in Tekla Structures version 2023. I'm going to go ahead and go up and check the service pack that I'm in. So I'll go to the Tekla or File menu here. I'll go down to Help. I'll go to About Tekla Structures, and I can see that I'm in Service Pack 5. Now what I'll do is I'll go back to the File or Tekla menu. I'll go to Export, and then I'll choose the Tekla PowerFab option. Now here we have all the settings set up here, and I'm going to embed the model file. I'll then go back to my document manager here. I'll select all of the drawings that I'm going to submit for this fabrication release. And then what I'll do is I'll press the Export to Tekla PowerFab option. Now this time you'll notice here that it says writing the model file and it completed. There's no errors. Now how can I double check this? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and show you a little trick here. If you take the PFXT file and you rename it to a zip file extension, it's really just a zip file. If I go inside of there, there's the folder structure. The XML file contains the bill of materials and the quantities. We have our drawings files, the PDFs that are included in the package, CNC files that are included in the package or exported and included. And then here we have the TRB or the TrimBIM file that has been exported. Now, the file name itself, where it says Tekla Submittal Examples.trb, well, that's coming from here in my project properties. So if I go to project properties under the file menu, it looks like it's pulling the project name here, which is pretty, this actually makes sense because the actual export package, when you import it into Tekla PowerFab, it wants to default and create a job name with this, as well as the job number here from Tekla Structures. So that looks like where the actual TRB or model name file is coming from. Okay, so we've got that set. Let's go back to the export to PowerFab option here. So we'll restore that back. And now I'm going to choose the upload model to Trimble Connect. So I'm going to re-export this package again, but this time I'm going to have it automatically upload to Trimble Connect. Now, just to make sure that you do this, if you go to the Trimble Connect tab, you need to make sure that your project has been linked with the Tekla Structures model. So your Trimble Connect project and Tekla Structures model have to be linked, and you of course have to be invited to that Trimble Connect project for this to work. So I've done that already here, and I've shown how to do that in some previous videos. But once we've got that set, we've got all of our drawings selected, we'll just export to Tekla PowerFab, and this time it's going to create the TRB file, but then what it's going to do is it's going to say that the model file has been written, and then it's uploading to Trimble Connect, and it'll show that it's been uploaded here, and now the completed package has been created. Now, before we go look at this in Trimble Connect, I want to select on one of these beams here that was included in the submittal package. I'll say Inquire, Part, and then if I scroll down here, there is a user-defined attribute being set here with the date sent to PowerFab. So this date attribute here is actually being used by the export plugin to track what it previously exported and make sure that it includes those, especially if you're doing something like a revision where you're only releasing 2 or 3 new drawings or adjusted drawings in a revision package, but all of the previous model and contents that were submitted before needs to be included. So that's what's going on with this date sent to PowerFab UDA. Okay, now here on the Trimble Connect tab at the top of Tekla Structures, I can go ahead and just go to the For Browser button here, which is going to open up Trimble Connect for Web. And because, again, I've already linked my Tekla Structures model to the Trimble Connect project, it should open up directly to that specific Trimble Connect project. Now, here you can see that I've got my .ifc file and my .tekla file as I showed in the previous videos, because that's the current workflow that a lot of people are doing in order to allow the fabricator to show visualization status and things like that with Trimble Connect within Tekla PowerFab. Now, the thing here, though, is that the thing that I just did here with the TRB and uploading to Trimble Connect, that's actually being put into this Tekla PowerFab Exchange folder. So these 2 files here are files that I've uploaded to Trimble Connect or exported from Tekla Structures and manually uploaded. But here, this is what the export plugin will actually create. So it creates that folder, and then here you can see that it uploaded the TRB or the TrimBIM file, and again it used that name of the project name in the project properties to upload that file name. Now, if you have subsequent exports and submittal exports, it's just going to continue to overwrite this file with new versions. So if I select on this, we can see here that there's a version history. So there's 4 versions of this file because I've done 4 submittal packages, and it just continues to keep track of that, and that's how it does the change management. Now, one thing that is important to understand is that if we come in here to view this model and we load this up, that this is only going to be representative of what's been submitted for fabrication. Now, in the Tekla PowerFab export from Tekla Structures, I did the selection based on the selected drawings in the drawing list. And so that means really the assembly drawings and the parts that I'm releasing for fabrication or in that submittal are what's going to be exported in the 3D model. That's why, for instance, here I don't see concrete. I wouldn't see any existing steel or anything like that in here, or any reference steel or wood. Only things that I'm releasing for fabrication would really be in here. So that's pretty important to understand, that if the fabricator is looking for an overall model from a project management and a BIM collaboration point of view, this model may not be completely representative of that. It's only going to be representative of the steel structure only. And again, this TrimBIM file is really only visible in Trimble Connect, to the best of my knowledge. I don't think any other platforms support the TRB format. Now, the reason why the TRB format or this TrimBIM file format is being used, say for instance compared to IFC or the .tekla file, this TRB file or this TrimBIM file is a very lightweight, fast file to load. And so the Tekla team decided to utilize this format because it'll make it way faster and way easier to load and show and colorize the changes in the model for the fabricator when they're opening up from from Tekla PowerFab, and they're kind of Trimble Connect's opening up automatically for them. It'll open up really fast and do the colorization really fast. And that's really important from a performance point of view and from a usability point of view for the end user, especially on larger projects. You don't want to be waiting forever to view changes and visualize those changes if you're working on a really large project. So a couple other things that I just wanted to point out, that there is no welds in this particular file from what I can see so far. So I don't see the welds coming across. So again, that may impact your perspective of using this as a actual collaboration model and review model versus just for change management. And then if I come up here to select assemblies, I just noticed a couple times before I was having some issues where, not all the assembly was highlighting, on some of these pieces. And so I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that compared to, say, the IFC file or the .tekla file that I was publishing as shown in my previous videos. But either way, this gives you the process. So again, this is super important to export the TRB file or the TrimBIM file in the Tekla PowerFab Exchange export plugin if you want to use the change management colorization within Tekla PowerFab 2023i and newer. If you found this content useful, please subscribe to our channel and press the alerts button to be notified when we upload new content.